Have you ever wondered that two people, even though everything is perfect, like they respect each other, they love each other, they care about each other, they're just made for each other, it feels like that. And when you see that they can so much easily, without any friction, can get along together, and you see them getting separated eventually, which makes us all surprised about that. What could be the reason they got separated, even though everything was perfect? They were aligned with the things that most people find it hard to get together, but still they got separated anyways. And to be honest, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, or not certified about anything basically, but I have been with a lot of people and I have talked to a lot of couples who worked it out and who didn't work out. And the relationships which didn't work out, it was not much about betrayal, cheating, and all this stuff. Those are just violation of boundaries. That is obvious to happen. But this one, where everything is good but still people can't work it out, that brought me up to a surprising thing, which I now realize is something that we really, really ignore. That no one could ever talk about it and never bring it up in front of us. And today I want you all to see it with me, that why those things happens. As much as we know that incompatibility is just about values misalignment, or maybe someone doesn't really respect other person's boundaries, or lack of shared interest, which are just predictable incompatibility issues we all know. But the thing which surprised me really is deeper than that, which becomes the root reason for two people not being compatible with each other. And they say that they just don't feel the spark, or they just don't feel themselves when they are around the other person. And that made me wonder what exactly is the thing that happens and makes them feel so. And which I eventually found out it is the nervous system incompatibility. So if I describe you, what is it exactly? It is two people when being physically present. Even if nothing is going wrong with them, between them, both people still feel unstable. Every time one of the person or both of them feels something is really off, even though we are trying everything out, we are communicating, everything is fine, there is something off. And maybe sometimes irritation without any reason. You feel a level of discomfort around them. You just don't feel the calm, peaceful energy around them. Even though they are funny, they're amazing, they're exploring, adventurous, whatever it is. And that makes me wonder, like, what would be the reason people feel that way? And which I eventually found out is actually happening because of two different types of nervous system colliding, which is misalignment of two different brain wirings. Now, without going too much into scientific terms, if I exactly say you, it is about how someone reacts to the other person's energy, like how a person reacts to stress and pressure. What happens is, like, one person escalates the whole situation, the other person withdraws, just runs away from the whole situation. One person tries to get some reassurance, to get some validation from the other person during arguments and all, and the other person shuts down, doesn't reply anything in return. One person keeps calm in the situations normally, but the other person for no reason feel anxious around them. When there is silence, a person is calm, the other person is just triggered and terrified and worried out of nowhere. They just don't feel the same level of calmness around them. Now, the fascinating thing about this particular incompatibility is both of the person are doing nothing to each other. They are not hating, they are not arguing about anything, nothing. But it's just about the discomfort one person is feeling around the other person. And now if we ask why it happens so, it's just because of our upbringing, our attachment styles, our trauma, the way we experience things. It is just different, and it just two people cannot fit together at that moment. And the hard part and the harsh part of this whole thing is it is very, very, very hard to change. It almost doesn't change, not because it is impossible, but the thing is it really takes a ton of efforts to change, and it's not so easy. You can adjust boundaries and behaviors, you can change those things, but mental brain wiring, you cannot change it easily. Now, does it mean that people who are in those type of situations, they can never work it out? No, it just needs few of the things, that is high self-awareness, clear communication, of expressing emotional needs to each other, and very importantly, high level of tolerance for each other's discomfort during those behaviors and consistency. Now, I'm not here you to make you worried about and make it look as a threat to any relationship. But the thing is, I want you to not ignore this. This is something that really exists and it's very, very important, which is one of the core thing of a relationship. If there is a mismatch in this, people chronically suffer later on, build resentments, and things explodes later on. I want you to see it and be aware of it. And I wanted to share it with you that this is something that exists, which not everyone talks about, because it's really hard to even recognize this is something that exists. Not everyone is just into all of these things. Now, before I leave, I want to tell you all this one simple thing. Even after trying all of this, everything can be tried out. Two people can put all of the efforts, but still it can never guarantee will it work out or not, because not everyone has the capacity to handle those level of situations, because here you are changing a whole system inside you, and we all know how hard it is to change ourselves, and we are trying to change each other, which takes a lot of tolerance and patience and hard work. So anyone being incapable of handling those things doesn't make them a bad person in anyone's life. It just shows that they are human, and it reveals one thing: they are not right fit for you, and neither you are for them. The right person of your life will be able to tolerate. But here's the question: do you think yourself you can be the right person to tolerate that amount of efforts for someone if you have those incompatibilities? Be honest.